Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University of Alberta International Visiting Program presentation tonight with information about our program. If somebody could just put in the chat that you could hear me, I'd really appreciate it. Great. Thank you very much, Yumi. I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to get started. All right, you should now be able to see the International Visiting Program presentation. So before we get started tonight, I'm going to do what's called a land acknowledgement. This is something that is part of the reconciliation with the First Nation people in Canada. And when you attend events at the University of Alberta or other kinds of events in Canada, the first thing that you will hear is usually a land acknowledgement. Each land acknowledgement is a little bit different. And so I use the one for the University of Alberta. You can see our lovely campus in the background. So the University of Alberta respectfully acknowledges that we are situated on Treaty 6 territory, which are the traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. So my name is Heather Sile-Mieshta. Some of you may already know me. I'm the Academic Programs Coordinator for the University of Alberta International. And I've been in this position for 7 years now. Before that, I grew up in northern British Columbia, not too far from Edmonton. Distance is very situational. So in Canada, 600 kilometers is not very far, but in other countries, 600 kilometers may seem very far. So not too far from Edmonton. And I came back to Canada 7 years ago from Japan, where I had lived for almost 20 years. I raised my 3 children in Japan. And the reason I talk about my children is because, they grew up in Japan and moved to Canada. And that experience is very similar to students who are coming from other countries to Canada. I'm also a great animal lover. You may see my cat or one of my cats walking across the screen. Sometimes my dogs come in and say hello. It's, of course, evening here in Canada. I also help my son raise lizards. So that's just a little bit about who I am. I'm going to talk a little bit about Alberta. The University of Alberta is located in the province of Alberta in Canada. We're a landlocked province, meaning that we don't have direct access to the ocean, but we have a great variety of natural environment in Alberta. The picture you can see here, of course, is the Rocky Mountains, which is about 3 or 4 hours away from Edmonton. And there are some incredible scenery in the Rocky Mountains. So Alberta is very culturally diverse. It's interesting going to Costco or shopping in Edmonton, because you will hear so many different languages and see so many culturally diverse people in Edmonton. So it's a great place to not only learn about Canadian culture, but also a wonderful place to learn about many different cultures with our international population. As I said, there's also absolutely breathtaking natural beauty in Alberta. We have the Rocky Mountains, we have plains, we have many lakes, a lot of outdoor activities. But we also have modern metropolitan cities. Edmonton and Calgary are two of the largest cities. Edmonton is about 1 million people, and Calgary, I believe, is about 1.5 million people. So it might seem small if you're from Asia with very large cities, but for Canada, 1 million people is a pretty large city. We also have a fairly high level of education. We have many post-secondary educational institutions in Alberta, and so the education is very important. And a very nice thing about living in Alberta is there is no provincial sales tax. So if you are living in other provinces, you may pay an additional 5 to 10% on your purchase. And as I mentioned, we have a very active lifestyle in Alberta. Even in the winter, when it's very, very cold, people are outside walking, snowshoeing, skiing, snowboarding, tobogganing, going on their ski-doos. So everybody is very active, and there's a lot of different things you can do, even in the wintertime. So in Alberta, the University of Alberta is located in Edmonton. As I said, Edmonton's about 1 million people, and it's Alberta's capital city. So even though Calgary is a little bit bigger, Alberta is where our provincial government is located. Occasionally, in this picture, this is an absolutely amazing picture with the Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis in the background. And this is our downtown area. It's also a major economic hub. You can see on top of the building, there are many logos for different companies that are active here in Edmonton. It's also a clean and safe environment. Canada is one of the safer countries in the world. And again, Edmonton itself is very diverse and multicultural. So there's lots of opportunities to participate in festivals that are based on cultures from around the world. And in fact, one of our largest festivals is called the Heritage Festival in August, where all the different cultures set up tents in a park, and they do presentations and have food available and have different activities related to their culture. Also a point, Edmonton is called the Festival City. We have, in the summertime, fantastic music festivals, some drama festivals. In the wintertime, we have ice festivals, different festivals that celebrate, again, different cultures and different activities. So what's the weather like? Lots of students like to ask us, is it really cold? And I think that it's a little unusual in Edmonton because our weather can change very, very quickly. 3 weeks ago, it was 20 degrees. Everybody was wearing t-shirts and shorts, and then it became very cold, and it was -20, and everybody was freezing because it had changed so quickly. And now we're back to about +1 or +2. So because of the Rocky Mountains, it can go up and down very, very quickly. You can see in these pictures that the spring can be very beautiful, summer is lovely, and then winter generally is very snowy and cold. The average temperatures in January are about -16 degrees Celsius. In the summer, it's about average of 20 degrees, although last summer was very, very warm, even up in the 30, 35 degrees. There were 4 distinct seasons, but sometimes the seasons can be, especially spring and summer, spring and fall get a little bit compacted, or it, like I said, it snows and then it's warm and then it becomes winter again. But the great thing about Edmonton is even when it's cold, There is more sunshine here than any other major city in Canada. I'm just going to play a quick video to give you an idea about the University of Alberta. If you can't hear it, again, please just send me a quick message in the chat, but everything should be working fine. So here we go.
It starts with an idea, a vision, a dream, a goal. It starts at home. It starts with questions, a decision, a plan. It starts here, in the classroom, in the lab, in the field, on the field, on the street, on the rooftops, in the coffee shop, in the boardroom, in your dorm room. So start moving, start exploring, start discovering, start asking questions, start making things, start breaking things, start small and go big. Start here and end up here. Start your journey. Get inspired. Go anywhere. Do anything. Start here and never stop.
So the next video is just a little bit around campus. It shows you some of the places that you might live or coffee shops that you might visit. So again, I'll just start this. If you can't hear it, please let me know. I gave you a little overview of our campus. I think the most interesting thing about Canadian universities that's different from Asian universities is our campus is open to everybody. You don't need to be a student to come in and interact or enjoy the facilities. There's no gates or fences around our campus. And, you know, there's everything from residents on campus, all of the classrooms, many different libraries, the, you know, sports facilities. It's quite a large campus. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is the IVSP? So the International Visiting Student Program, or the IVSP, is a very unique program that allows students to study at the University of Alberta for 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12 months in English language courses and regular academic courses. I think this is very different from other programs, the fact that it's a crossover between English language and regular undergrad academic courses. The program offers enhanced student supports and advising, as well as cultural sports, leisure activities, and other events like trips to the Rocky Mountains. Or tonight, the student staff are hosting a games night. So they have many board games, and about 70 students are attending the event to play board games tonight. So the IVSP is an academic study abroad program. It is not just an English language learning program, but also an academic program. And IVSP students are regular University of Alberta students. IVSP students also are encouraged to volunteer, and we help find placements for students that are interested in volunteering. So for example, this picture is with the Edmonton Food Bank, and students would help to gather food or to go shopping or to create baskets for people in Edmonton that are in need of help with food. As I mentioned, we have many festivals in Edmonton. This is my favorite. I volunteer with the Folk Music Festival, and we have many big name bands that come in and smaller stages. And when you volunteer at the folk festival, they feed you, you have access to all of the events for free, and it's a 4-day festival. So it's really a lot of fun. But you can also volunteer at the Fringe Festival, which is the drama festival. And it's also a great way to meet people. As I mentioned, we have the Heritage Festival. Many people attend that with many different cultures represented. And one of the winter festivals is called Ice on White. That one should be coming up pretty soon now that winter is here, and you can see some of the ice sculptures. White Avenue is very close to the university. You can walk to this festival. So IVSP students study English and regular academic courses. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the English language school. Students go to classes for 2 to 4 months, depending on when they start their program, and study English for 2 to 4 months at the English language school. Everybody studies 5 days a week from 9 o'clock until 12:15, or in the afternoon from 1 until 4:15. There's also great support from the Student Engagement Center. The Student Engagement Center is a place you can go for extra support. They have listening labs and writing support, but they also have fun activities. They might take you on a tour of Edmonton, or they have different games and activities that they play throughout the year. So the next video will just be Susanna, who occasionally runs the engagement center, and you can see her talking a little bit with students.
Hello everyone, I am Susanna from the Student Engagement Center. If you are a student at the English Language School and you're looking for some additional activities or additional ways to practice English language outside the classroom, then Student Engagement Center has prepared a lot of workshops and extracurricular activities for you. Join us, we would really love to see you. We believe that students learn English and improve their confidence when they are practicing English outside the classroom and when they are connected to their community. And that's what we do. We make sure that you meet people from North Campus who tell you about topics that might interest you for your future student success or your personal success. We also offer some tutoring sessions for you if you have any questions and you need that one-to-one time with an instructor. We also collaborate with other institutions. So if you really are curious to find out what other students in Edmonton are up to, you will have that chance. And it doesn't matter whether we are doing it in person or online. We have activities that are suitable for both situations. If we are here in person, we go on adventures around the neighborhood and we explore. And if we can't, we simply do adventures online. We find out about certain places, certain activities. We do web quests, and then we share what we have found. We are here to give you opportunity to practice English outside the classroom with extracurricular content. So take advantage of it. It's part of your tuition. And really, everyone who has joined our activities has made some experiences that are going to be with them for the rest of their lives. Now, some students are writing their experiences in their student learning blogs, which we encourage, and we want you to take learning into your own hands. We are really hoping you will join us for some of the activities, and whether you will volunteer, collaborate, or just explore the city, you will always have some positive learning experience. See you later. Bye.
So that was a little bit of information about the English language school. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the academic courses. So as I said, our program is very unique in that you can choose from many different academic courses after you have finished your English language courses. Some of the subjects that many IVSP students take are anthropology, drama, economics, geography, history, political science, and sociology. This picture is actually quite a famous picture of the University of Alberta. If you are a Harry Potter fan, they sometimes call this the Harry Potter room in our Rutherford Library because it looks like the big room in the Harry Potter movies. There are some restrictions related to the academic courses. So for example, some courses that require official permission to be requested are courses in the Alberta School of Business, courses in the Faculty of Engineering, all economics courses, and any senior level courses that are numbered 300 and higher. So when you come to the University of Alberta, you will work with myself or a colleague, and we will look at your English language level. We will look at what kind of courses you may have studied in your home institution, and we will work together to find classes that are interesting for you, but are also available for you to take. If you have any questions about the academic courses, please do send me a chat message or an email. At the end of the presentation, I will give you my email address. Courses in the School of Business have different restrictions as well as engineering. And I'm able to answer any questions you have about those. There are also faculties that do not allow IVSP students or other students from different faculties to take classes. So no students are able to take classes in the law faculty, medicine or dentistry, nursing, or pharmacy or pharmaceutical sciences. So you may be wondering what's included with your program. Included with the IVS program are things like airport welcome. Our student staff will come to the airport to guide you to your hotel or to the university to move in. We do a comprehensive orientation to our campus and to the life here at the University of Alberta, as well as Edmonton, and to the program. Included is also your English as a second language instruction, your academic supports, opportunities for volunteering, social and cultural events and activities, as well as academic and intercultural seminars. So IVSP students do have dedicated staff to help them with their daily life. I'm obviously one of those staff members. And in fact, if you come to the University of Alberta, most of your time in advising or in the seminars will be spent with me. And this is my job. I help IVSP students exclusively. Other international advisors help thousands of students, but I only help the IVSP students. So I have a lot of time to dedicate to your questions or if you need help with different things. So you can see some of the events and activities around campus. We have a curling rink that often the English language school or our student staff will take you to. In the bottom left corner, you can see an orientation activity where they're team building and they're trying to get to know new people. I think many international students feel that it may be very difficult at the beginning to make friends because Canadian people already have friends. But in reality, many students are new to campus and they don't know anybody. And so we at the University of Alberta believe that those opportunities to meet people and make friends are really, really important. In the middle picture, you can see they must be playing rock, scissors, and paper. Again, it looks like it's part of the orientation activity. And then in the winter, you may want to go skating. This is an outdoor skating rink very near the campus. You can walk there. They rent skates. And in the back, you can see the ice castles. In the winter, usually they build a big ice castle with lights in the winter, in the nighttime to give it different colors. I'm not sure if it'll be this year, but it has been for the last few years, except one year when COVID was very bad. In the top right, you can see they're having a Halloween party. That was just recently. And then in the bottom right corner, students will take students down to the local park and have an activity of marshmallow cooking or hot dogs. I know that there are some students in this information session that may be coming in January. In January, we will be having a snowshoeing event. So we will take new students into the park to snowshoe to help them get to know new students. In September, we went to Elk Island and got to go canoeing. And I believe there's some pictures that are next about that. So you can see this top right picture. This was an orientation event in September this year. Some of the trips around Alberta have an additional cost. Not all students want to participate, but there are opportunities to go to the Rocky Mountains. And you can see the 5 pictures around the mountains are all in the Rockies. We also have a very famous dinosaur museum that is about an hour and a half from our campus or 2 hours from our campus. And we often will take students there to give them an opportunity to go to the museum and see the dinosaurs. But also the museum is situated in the area that the dinosaurs were found. And so there's also opportunities to go out onto that land and walk around and see where the dinosaur bones were found. So it's a very interesting trip to take. So there's also a lot happening on campus. There are over 400 student clubs, 24 varsity teams, And our varsity teams are called the Golden Bears and Pandas. So often students like to go watch the volleyball games or the basketball games. There's ice hockey, there's football, there's soccer, many other different sports. There's also very easy access to our campus. We have a subway station right on campus. We also have a bus hub on campus, so it's a very central location in Edmonton. And we also have many study spaces in the libraries or in the buildings. Some of these are open 24 hours. There's an opportunity for art. There's many museums on campus, or concerts, or some sort of theater. There's a student union building with restaurants and cafes and places to eat, as well as 2 pubs on campus, which I think is very unusual for Asian universities to have somewhere that you can go with your friends and have a beer. But Dewey's and the Rat, and actually in our student union, there's also opportunities to go for different events and have a beer with some friends or have a drink with some friends and some food. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the accommodations. So there is also a homestay option, but many students do live in the University of Alberta residences. So IVSP students have access to those residents. The units are fully furnished with a bed and dresser and study table, with a chair in each bedroom, and a couch, coffee table, TV stand, sofa chairs, dining table and dining chairs in each living area. So they are fully furnished apartments. All kitchens come with a stove and oven, a stove and oven, and a refrigerator and freezer. You will have to bring or buy your own cooking equipment and bedding linens and things like that. Most of the apartments do not have microwaves or TVs, so that's something that you may want to purchase when you come. But otherwise, everything is ready for you. So there are 3 different residences at the University of Alberta for IVSP students. And you have an option for studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 6 bedroom, or an individual room with a bathroom, and you share a kitchen with your floor. So there's many different options. And I really encourage you to go to our website to look at the floor plans and the prices and all those other things. So the one really great thing about the IVSP is that it's very flexible in its schedules. Students can start at the University of Alberta in January, March, May, July, and September. However, starting at those dates have a little bit of different schedules. So in January, you can study at the University of Alberta for 4 months. And in the 4-month schedule, you take English language courses and your academic course at the same time. There are some restrictions about the level of English language. Please send me an email if you have questions. The 6-month program starting in January, you would study English language for 4 months, and then you would do an academic class for 2 months. The 8th-month program would be English language for 4 months, then 1 academic course for 2 months, and then another academic course for 2 months. And for the 12-month course, it's 4 months of English language learning, 1 academic course for 2 months, 1 academic course for 2 months, and you can take up to 5 academic courses over 4 months. So these are based on our term schedules. So in March, you can start in March and study English language for March and April. and then 4 months of English language. So this is actually a very special schedule that we designed that would allow you to study English for 6 months and then 2 months of academic courses, or to study for 6 months and then 4 months of academic studies. Yeah, that's 10. I had to calculate that for a minute. So again, there's a lot of flexibility in the program, depending on your English language level, depending on how you want to progress with your learning. So again, May has the 4-month schedule, an 8th-month schedule, and a 12-month schedule. July has a 6-month schedule and a 10th-month schedule. And September has a 4-month schedule, an 8th-month schedule, a 10-month schedule, and a 12-month schedule. If you're looking for the details about exactly the schedule, please send me an email. I would be happy to design a plan for you individually. I'm just very briefly going to talk about the cost of the program. Again, the cost is very flexible because the number of courses you can take are optional. You must take at least one undergrad academic course for the IVSP, but you could take up to 5 academic courses. So when we think of a program fee, it's not decided, okay, if you study 6 months, it's this cost. If you study 8 months, it's this cost. And the reason is because you may take 1 undergrad course, or you may take 5 undergrad courses. The more courses you take, of course, the more expensive the program can be. So for the 4 and 6 month, if we look at 2 English language courses and 1 undergrad course, the cost for tuition is 12,200 Canadian dollars. For the 8th month course, we base our price on 2 English language courses and 2 undergraduate academic courses. And that cost is 15,200 for tuition. The 10-month program, most students take 2 English language courses and 3 undergraduate courses. So the cost is 18,210. For the 12-month program, most people take 2 English language courses and 4 undergrad academic courses for a cost of 21,220. Again, because our program is so flexible, we request that if you need details, please contact me. I'm more than happy to design a schedule specific for you with the amount of the cost. So all of the fees listed here are based on 2022-2023 fees, and they may be subject to change. They do not include the $125 application fee for the IVSP or the $25 residence application fee. If you are planning on attending in September, please note that if you apply for housing before September 30th, you have guaranteed placement. If you apply for housing after September 30th, it's most likely that you will still have a place on campus, but it's not guaranteed. There are also mandatory non-instructional fees. Those fees include things like your UPass, which allows you to take the train and the bus. There's also health insurance, access to athletics and recreation. And those fees are estimated at $990 per term. It is a great advantage to have these. For example, if you were to buy a monthly bus pass and not be a student, it would cost $100 per month. So for 4 months, it would cost $400. for University of Alberta students for 4 months is $180, so significantly cheaper. Athletics and recreation not only allows you to use the climbing wall, the swimming pool, drop-in activities like volleyball or basketball, but it also gives you access to the hockey games that the varsity team is playing, or the basketball or volleyball. Tuition costs can be reduced by adjusting the course load. Like I said, if you take one academic course, it's going to be cheaper than taking 2. And if your university will accept audit courses, or if you are not transferring credit to your university, you can audit courses, which would be half the price of the academic fee for that course. Academic courses right now, one course is $3,009. We do expect a 3 to 6% increase for next year. And living expenses are currently estimated at $1,300 to $1,500 per month, including your accommodation. So you may be wondering what kind of student can apply for the University of Alberta IVSP. So in order to be considered for the IVSP, you must be registered in a degree program at a university outside of Canada. You must have permission from that university to participate in the IVSP, and you must speak a language other than English as your primary language. So for example, if you have a TOEFL score of 90 IBT or IELTS of 6.5, that generally is a high enough score for direct entry to the University of Alberta. So we don't recommend students with that high level of English to apply for this program, because you must take the English language courses. So the English language courses and academic courses are together as a package. Sometimes the online application can be confusing. So we have created a step-by-step instruction guide that has the screenshots, so you can follow along exactly to apply. The necessary documents you need are transcripts in English from all post-secondary institutions, the IVSP consent form, which you can download from our website, or when you apply on Launchpad, you can download it there, as well as any English language proficiency test results, which is optional. If you do not have a current IELTS or TOEFL IBT, we will send you a link to the English language school's proficiency test, and they will place you according to the results of that test. There are no restrictions about entry to IVSP. All English levels are acceptable. So you can contact us through email, or you can book an appointment with us. We're more than happy if you send us an email to find time to meet with you and answer your questions. Or if you send an email specific about the cost or the schedule, I'm more than happy to answer those. And that is the end of our presentation today. If you have any questions, please ask in the Q&A or in the chat, or you can also turn on your mic and ask me directly any questions that you may have. I'll stay here for the next 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If not, that's the end of our presentation today. Thank you very much for attending, and we certainly hope to see you at the University of Alberta.